Jo Leute, willkommen zurück zu L.A. Noire. Das letzte Mal sind wir ja genau hier stehen geblieben, Freunde. Und hier machen wir jetzt auch weiter.
What are we waiting for?
Ja. Ups, das wollte ich nicht. Das wollte ich. So, was sind denn unsere Aufgaben? Die Unfallstelle untersuchen. Okay, dann machen wir das mal. Kann ich hier runter? Ja, da vorne kann ich runter, okay. So, gucken wir mal, was hier passiert ist.
You'll want to see this, Phelps. There, laid out on the trunk. And that isn't even the best part.
Ein Slip. Ach du Scheiße.
They've been torn off. Where did you find them?
They were stuffed in the young lady's handbag. I'll run a trace for semen when I get back to the lab.
Was haben wir denn da?
She's a long way from home. Looks like they're lucky they weren't more badly injured.
Must have been unconscious. Being relaxed tends to lessen the soft tissue damage.
Drunk driver?
Maybe not.
How so?
Well, a head I found without a body piqued my interest. See what you think.
Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio. Is it real?
No. I think it's supposed to be a replica of an Indian shrunken head. It's some kind of curio or movie prop. See the casting marks?
What's it made from?
Plaster of Paris would be my first guess, then painted.
So we can rule out the murder angle?
No, you can rule that in. That thing was wedging the accelerator to the floor. Whoever did it wanted these women dead.
Ein Schrumpfkopf. Ach du Scheiße.
Catch all the good ones, Phelps.
How does someone manage to tip their ride straight off a cliff? If the driver's in a fit state, we should ask.
Mrs. McAfee, we would like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
I prefer to use my maiden name, June Ballard. You might be familiar with some of my work.
Can you tell us what happened here?
You're kind of cute for a cop. Maybe a bit on the serious side.
What about me, June? I'm a big fan of
You?
beasts.
I don't like. Keep out of this.
We understand that you're still suffering from the effects of the accident, Mrs. McAfee. The officer says that you claimed that you were drugged. Who did this to you?
That rat slipped us a Mickey Finn. It's no wonder I feel so dopey. I can't remember.
Who drugged you, Mrs. McAfee?
You really are a cute detective, but a little too naive for my taste.
Scheiße.
What can you tell us about the passenger in your car?
Jessica Hamilton. Poor Jessica. It's been a rough day for her. She's desperate to break into movies. What more can I say?
I think you're lying, Mrs. McAfee. I think something happened to Jessica yesterday before the crash.
I'm offended, Sunshine. Do you have any proof?
Brief der Mutter.
I didn't think so. You should be more careful. Behind the glitz, this can be a very rough old town.
Scheiße.
We found a shrunken head. It was used to tamper with your car.
You see, I normally don't drive off cliffs. The last thing I remember is getting behind the wheel.
It's obviously some kind of movie prop. You must know where it came from.
In case you hadn't noticed, I am the talent. And the talent doesn't deal with props or sets or any of that kind of stuff. Why don't you ask Mark Bishop which prop house he uses?
You mentioned a Mark Bishop. You think he might have had something to do with this?
He's a movie producer. As for his involvement, you just leave it to me and my husband to worry about.
That's a lie, and you know it. This goes deeper than that.
I'm sorry. Maybe you'd like to go ahead and prove that, honey. I'm in pain here, Detective. I nearly died. Now you're throwing these stories around here like they're facts?
Mrs. McAfee, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you accompanied Patrolman Gonzalez back to the receiving hospital.
I'm being taken in?
Verdammt.
You could say that.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that you are under the influence of narcotics and that you are withholding information from the police.
My husband is gonna want a word with you, Sonny Jim.
I think we're good here. Let's go see what we can shake out of the kid.
Okay, auf geht's zur Zentralklinik. So. Darüber... Okay, kannst du doch. Ich wollte schon sagen.
Receiving hospital.
11K Roger, en route.
I think we need a siren.
Fahr ich halt hier runter.
You nearly...
Wenn der nicht
Can we
geht, dann
try
ist
to
es-
get there in one piece?
So.
Hello, Detective Phelps, here to interview a Jessica Hamilton.
Jessica Hamilton. Oh, yes. She's in the room, right behind you, Detective.
You can't hold me here. No, I don't
Feeling
need
better
to be
since this
manhandled
morning,
by a
Jessica?
doctor. I need my
A little.
lawyer. Hey,
My head still
where
feels
is the
funny.
telephone? Do you know?
Hello, Jessica. My name is Cole Phelps. I'm a policeman. I'd like to talk to you about your accident, if that's okay.
Okay.
Can you tell me what you remember about the crash?
It's all kind of fuzzy. I remember waking up here. Nothing happened yesterday.
You could have died in the crash, Jessica. Why would someone want to kill you?
Someone wants to kill me? I wouldn't know anything about that. I just went along with Junie. She knows all about the movie business.
Scheiße.
We need to get in touch with your parents, Jessica.
Verdammt.
Tell them what has happened.
Oh, you don't need to worry them. They sent me along to stay with Aunt June. They trust her to take care of me.
You're lying, Jessica. How are we going to make this right if you lie to us?
Please, Detective, why would I lie to you? Can't you just let me rest?
Verdammt.
How did you meet Mr. Bishop?
Well, Junie is a big movie star. You probably know that. She's doing a new movie.
What do you know about Bishop?
He makes movies. I had to do a screen test. That's when you say some lines in front of the camera with the lights turned on you.
Das gibt es doch nicht. Schon 3 Fragen falsch beantwortet.
I know what happened to you, Jessica.
Verdammte
Where
Kacke.
exactly did it take place?
Please, it's scary. It's really difficult to think of anything.
God damn it, tell the truth, Jessica.
I am telling the truth. I don't know where the place is. I barely know this city. I think you should leave now. You're being horrible to me.
You should
Scheiße.
think about going home, Jessica.
Alle
You're getting mixed up
4
with people
Fragen
who will
falsch
treat you like last week's trash.
gemacht.
Are you crazy? I can't go home. I want to be a star.
Verdammt, verdammt, verdammt. Ah, scheiße.
It's the tale of this town, Cole. Lambs that go willingly to slaughter. Who the hell is that?
Must be her lawyer. He certainly expedited her release.
I don't like it, Cole. Why is she in such a hurry? We should follow her. There she goes. Come on.
Och nö, nicht schon wieder eine Verfolgungsjagd. Oh mein Gott. Nicht schon wieder. Ich hasse sowas.
Ballard is definitely up to something.
Aber muss ja sein. Das muss ja sein, so eine Verfolgungsjagd. Oh,
Too close, Phelps. Way
oh.
too close.
Zu dicht, zu dicht, zu dicht. Zu dicht, zu dicht, zu dicht. Ah! Beim ersten Versuch geschafft. Ja, Jawohl.
Get in there and see what she's up to.
Beim ersten Versuch geschafft. Scheiße, ich wurde entdeckt. Verdammt.
Get in there and see what she's up to.
Was? WTF?
Get in there and see what she's up to.
What the fuck? Ja, möchte ich bitte überspringen. Das gibt's doch nicht. Bishops Apartment untersuchen, okay.
So what's the story? I'm guessing she didn't stop for light refreshments.
She made a call. Sounds
Wo
like Mark
sollte
Bishop
ich
has a
mich
heap
denn
of
da
trouble
bitte
headed
schön
his way.
verstecken?
I've got an address. Wilson's Hotel,
Ohne
apartment
entdeckt zu
803.
werden.
Oh shit, you better step on it.
If he's got any sense,
doch
he'll
gar
be as
keine
far away from
Möglichkeit.
home as possible.
If he had any sense, he wouldn't have tried bumping off Guy
Naja,
McAfee's wife in the
gut,
first place.
egal.
Or he'd have done the job properly. McAfee will break a fella's legs just for looking at his broad the wrong way.
What did you make of the kid? You believe her story?
I think she was doped out of her tiny mind and given the casting couch. That fucking bitch Ballard sold her out.
So if Ballard was doing someone a favor, why did they try to kill her?
Any unit able to handle citizen reports at 211 in progress. 37 East 8th Street. Unit to handle code 3 identify. All units in the vicinity in car 11K, 11 King, a 415 in progress at apartment 803, Wilson's Apartment Hotel, 1220 West 7th Street, Westlake Park. 11K code 3, all other units code 2. KGPL clear.
Gun it! Let's get to the apartment before someone gets hurt.
You the cops? I tried to stop them. It's room 803, left out of the elevator.
Sounds like we're about to make it a hat trick of hysterical female witnesses.
Give it up, LAPD!
I'm about to break your goddamn jaw.
Zack, zack.
I curse you and your children.
Und tschüss.
Are you injured, Mrs. Bishop?
I'm all right now. Those horrible, awful men.
Perhaps you should sit down, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Forgive me, officers. I'm very flushed. I'll just sit down for a moment.
That's perfectly normal, ma'am. Take a moment while we look around.
Yes, thank you. Just look at this mess.
Those men, I think they work for Guy McAfee. Do you know the name?
No, why should I?
June Ballard is married to Guy McAfee. Have you heard of her?
That slut. She's been badgering my husband for days.
Mrs. McAfee alleges that your husband tried to kill her and her friend last night. I think you should tell us what you know.
My husband's a movie producer. This has something to do with his new picture. He doesn't include me in his business.
June Ballard said she had a deal to be in his new picture.
Mark repeatedly told her no. He had Joan Leslie lined up for the role. That's how he got the finance. June made all kinds of threats. She was very rude to me.
You know June Ballard?
We were both on the same picture a few years back. That's how I met my husband.
Bishops Apartment untersuchen, okay. Alles klar.
Looks like a mermaid in the background. Silver screen.
Who are these men in the picture?
My husband, Mark, and Marlon Hopgood. They work together on occasion. That's Hopgood's shop.
Not everything here is going to be relevant. I doubt it.
Looks like the old movie set downtown.
Probably nothing. I don't think so. Not sure this means much. Nothing significant.
Nichts von Bedeutung.
Don't think this is going to help us.
Okay.
Doesn't give me anything to go on.
What do you have to do to earn $20,000?
Optimistic, Cole. Don't think this is anything.
So, was kann denn hier noch sein? Das da.
Presented to Mark.
Nochmal unterhalten.
Where can we find your husband, ma'am?
He told me he would be on set. That's all I know.
Either we find him or McAfee's people do, Mrs. Bishop. If you care for him, you should make sure that we find him first.
I do care for him. But I don't really know where he'd go if he were in trouble. Hopgood might know.
Why is your husband paying Lorna Hopgood $20,000?
Lorna? Marlon's ex-wife? Are you sure?
It's a lot of money, Mrs. Bishop. Doesn't it strike you as unusual?
Perhaps. Movies are expensive to make. You'd be surprised what expenses get hidden in the budget and how the money gets moved around.
Your husband is in trouble. It could go easier for him if you were more helpful, Mrs. Bishop.
He's a big boy, Detective, and so are you. This is Hollywood. There's always a deal to be done.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a location on a silver screen prop store.
Just a moment. Silver Screen Props, corner 3rd and Figueroa.
Thanks for your help.
Da ist der Aufzug.
An aging movie star, a wannabe starlet, a movie producer's wife. We're finally rubbing shoulders with the almost rich and famous.
And from the stories they've given us, clearly none of them can act.
So, Freunde, es hat jetzt gerade gespeichert. Ich
Mrs.
würd
Bishop
sagen,
knows more than
das
she's
war's
letting on.
erstmal
She
für
doesn't
heute
seem to
mit
realize how
Noire.
much trouble her husband is in. The LAPD are the least of their
Zum
worries right
nächsten
now.
Ort fahren wir
You
dann
think
im
she'd have gotten
nächsten
the hint
Part
after those
hin.
hatchet men redecorated her apartment?
Maybe she's just loyal.
Ja,
Or
Freunde,
she's
wenn
in
es
on
euch
it.
gefallen
She
hat,
didn't
lasst
seem like your
einen
average
Daumen nach
giddy
oben
broad
da.
with nothing between the ears.
Lasst
Or
mir
she
auch
might
gerne
just be
ein
trying to
Abo
buy
da.
enough time for Bishop to put a couple of
Und
oceans
dann würde ich
between him and
sagen,
McAfee.
hören wir uns zum nächsten Part wieder. Haut rein. Zuckerboy, Game Over. Und Freunde, es kommt heute noch ein Video, wo ich meine Pläne für 2018 sage, was nächstes Jahr so an Videos rauskommt und so weiter und so fort. Ja, Freunde, haut rein. Zuckerboy, Game Over. Ciao.